Here's something most leaders already feel but rarely hear said clearly. Team engagement doesn't improve because teams try harder. It improves when leadership behavior changes. And I want to say this carefully because this is not about blaming leaders. Most leaders care deeply. They're committed. They're juggling competing priorities, pressure from above, and responsibility for the people they lead. And in many cases, they're doing the best they can with the tools they've been given. The challenge is not effort. The challenge is that leadership development is often oversimplified in many organizations. Leadership development is treated as an individual upgrade, better communication skills, stronger confidence, improved decision-making. All of that matters. But what's often missing is a deeper look at how leadership actually shows up in the daily experience of teams. I first saw this clearly in education across both K-12 systems and higher education. In those environments, leadership decisions don't just affect strategy. They immediately affect safety, trust, belonging, and engagement. You see very quickly how leadership behavior shapes whether people feel supported or shut down. What I later realized, as I work with corporate organizations and municipal departments, is that the same leadership dynamics exist everywhere. The environments are different, the pressures are different, but the human experience of leadership is remarkably consistent. Teams experience leadership through patterns. They experience it through how clearly expectations are communicated, whether leaders follow through, whether questions are welcomed or avoided, through how mistakes are handled, through whether people feel seen, trusted, and supported even. At IEXDG, we talk about leadership as a culture shaping system. Leadership isn't just what leaders know. It's not just what they intend. It's what teams experience every single day. And when leadership behavior is clear, consistent, and grounded, teams don't have to guess. They understand what success looks like. They feel safer contributing ideas. They're more willing to collaborate. Engagement grows, not because people are being pushed harder, but because the environment supports people doing good work. This is where team engagement becomes a leadership outcome, not a team personality issue. Through the Effective Leadership Culture Code, we look at leadership through 6 interconnected pillars, not as a checklist, but as an ecosystem. Communication matters because teams need clarity, not confusion. Connection matters because people engage where they feel psychologically safe. Collaboration matters because teams don't work in silos, or at least they shouldn't. And captaincy matters because leadership influence sets the tone for consistency and accountability. Culture matters because the environment leaders create either drains or sustains people, and competence matters because leaders need confidence rooted in skill, not authority alone. And when those elements are aligned, leadership development translates into something teams can actually feel. And when they're not aligned, what happens is subtle at first, but leaders grow individually, but teams don't experience the difference. And engagement initiatives feel temporary. Communication breaks down quietly. Trust erodes slowly, and leaders often feel confused because on paper, they've done the work, and they've attended the training. They've read the books. They've invested in development, but leadership growth that doesn't show up in team engagement never becomes culture. And that's why we're very intentional about where we start. Often we begin with the leadership and team engagement diagnostic, not to evaluate or judge, but to create clarity, because leaders can't improve what they can't see. The diagnostic helps leaders understand how leadership behavior is currently being experienced across the team, and where communication is landing clearly, where connection is strong, and where the system may be creating friction without anyone intending it. From there, growth becomes intentional instead of assumed, and leaders can make adjustments that actually strengthen trust. Teams feel the difference, engagement increases, and outcomes improve, not through pressure, but through alignment. And this is why leadership development, when done well, doesn't stop with leaders. It shows up in teams and across the organizations. When leaders grow with intention, teams feel valued. When teams feel valued, trust strengthens. And when trust strengthens, collaboration improves. And when collaboration improves, organizations perform more sustainably. This is not about fixing people. It's about strengthening leadership systems so leaders and teams can thrive together. If leadership development is a priority for your organization and you care about how your teams experience leadership, that's the work we partner with organizations to do at IEXDG.